how to not lose your money while you're in escrow. James Carmody with Synergy One Lending, running the Carmody team, and there's been a lot of talk lately about banks, and there is a lot of fear out there in the marketplace, particularly if you are in escrow or in process to buy a property and then that bank goes out of business. What the heck happens? Well, a couple things. First, you've got contingency periods. So your real estate agent, when they wrote up your contract, they've got certain timelines and parameters in that agreement that you came to with the seller. One is, how long is it going to take to close to buy the property? Is it 30 days, 21 days, 14 days? What does that closing period look like? Then you've got, most importantly, is contingency periods. And during the contingency periods, that's where you're doing your due diligence. So you've typically got a physical inspection contingency, an appraisal contingency, and a loan contingency. So your physical inspection contingency, that is you having a professional home inspector come to the property and inspect it. They're gonna check out foundation to roof, plumbing, electrical, all the utilities, everything in between. They're even gonna look behind walls, look below the floor, make sure that everything works the way that it is intended to. And then they're gonna give you their report back with their findings. And they're going to explain those findings to you. Do we need a new roof? Is the solar shot? Is the foundation cracked? Is the electrical really old and not working correctly? All of the things physically and structurally, when you think about a property, that is what is going to go into that inspection report. In that inspection contingency, up until the inspection contingency is due, you can do all those inspections. Because once that inspection is due, you release it, you forego the opportunity to get out of escrow from the inspection contingency. Next, appraisal contingency. So the appraiser's job is to determine fair market value. Now, the nice thing about real estate and residential is you've got a buyer and a seller setting the market. You guys set the price. It's the appraiser's job to make sure that that agreed upon price is supported by the market. So they're going to look at what are called comps or comparable sales. Similar properties that have sold in the last 6 months, as well as pending, depending upon market speed. Currently, we're in an extremely low inventory environment, so pendings are being considered, and the timeline is much shorter than common. They're going to look at same type of property. So if you're buying a single-family home, they're going to compare it to other single-family homes. If you're buying a condo, condos, townhomes, things like that. You're not going to compare a condo to a house, though, and you wouldn't compare oceanfront to something out in the desert. So it's going to be similar property type, typically similar location, similar bedroom count, bath count, age, and amenities. But type, bed count, bath count are the three main ones first. The appraiser goes out, they take the pictures, they make sure everything that's on public record, everything you would see online is in fact true and accurate. And then they're pulling those comparable sales and all that information, that market data, and then coming up with a report and giving you that report and saying, hey, you're in contract for $1 million. I believe that the house is also worth $1 million. And here's the data in the comparable sales and pending sales to back it up and support it. Once you release that appraisal contingency, you cannot use the appraisal to get you out of that contract. Last, loan contingency, and this is a big deal. Your lender is most likely giving you a pre-approval, meaning that they have evaluated income, assets, credit, and given you a pre-approval letter. It may or may not have been underwritten. That loan contingency is in place for you to be fully underwritten, make sure that your loan's approved, and it's at the terms that you've agreed to with the loan officer. Interest rate, closing costs, impounding taxes and insurance or not. Is it a 30-year loan or a 20-year loan? All of the details of the loan that you have agreed to with the loan officer are a piece of that loan contingency. And when you remove that loan contingency, you're saying to the seller on the other side that I'm good, I'm comfortable with my loan, I'm comfortable with the terms, I'm approved, I can close on this property. Now, what the heck happens if my bank shuts down and goes out of business? We have seen that happen, unfortunately. If your bank shuts down while you're in escrow, that's awful and shouldn't happen, but we've seen of recent here that can happen. If you have not removed your loan contingency, you're okay. You can get your deposit back. You've basically just wasted your time and efforts, whatever you've paid for inspections or appraisal. You get your deposit back, you go find another property, or the seller is okay with letting you find a different lender and proceeding with that escrow and closing. If you remove the loan contingency and all the other contingencies, technically, that seller can keep your deposit. Now, you'd probably go to arbitration and have some attorneys involved. You might be able to keep your deposit, but technically the seller does have a right to keep that deposit. if you have released all of your contingencies. So you want to make sure that who you're going with for your lending, you are happy with and you're confident and that they are a solvent bank and not going to go out of business, because they close down after you remove contingencies, your deposit can be on the line. Most important thing is work with people that have a great reputation in the marketplace, are trusted, and come highly recommended. We'd love the opportunity to serve you and answer any questions, but we can also help you ask questions of your lender so you know exactly what to look for, how to analyze, is this a good bank, not a good bank? Am I getting a fair loan? What are the costs involved? All of those things. Happy to answer any of those questions and give you guys a second opinion. Most important thing is that you're educated and informed and you're not just making quick, rash decisions so that you start losing money. So if this was helpful, like it, share it, comment. I'd love to hear your feedback.